evening and welcome to Soulful Stimulation. I am Markia Janae and I will be one of your hosts this evening. I am here with the lovely Cheney.
Hi, guys.
And so we have a pretty dope show for y'all tonight. Here on IntellectualRadio.com, we maintain to feed your brain, but tonight's show is not going to be any different, y'all. It's one that is a little deep and we all struggle with it. And Cheney, I don't know about you, but I low-key need a break.
It's not low-key for me. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's definitely not low-key for me.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's honest truth, y'all. That's honest truth. But, when I think about it, from being a confidence and identity coach to all the other hats that I wear, I just need to take some time to myself and I need a break. I mean, like, the struggle can really be real. And I know we talked about this offline, but whether it's a pastor, a healthcare professional, frontliners, I mean, those who help others need help too.
Absolutely.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with asking for help at all, especially being in this field. Like, we should be okay with saying, okay, it's time for me to take a step back.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I've been pouring and pouring and pouring out to everybody else, and now I need somebody to pour into me.
So why is it so hard though? Like, why is it so hard for us to ask for help?
So for me, I believe that it's hard for us to ask for help. One, because we're in this pipeline of serving and helping others. And if we ask for help, some people think that that's considered a weakness because we're supposed to be presenting to be so strong and strength. There's strength in asking for help too.
There is, but the struggle is when we ask for help, like you said, they're looking at us like, oh, well, you're not qualified then. Like, if you need help, if you need a therapist, if you need someone to talk to, how can you really help me? And so one thing that I realized, though, in this field, it makes you stronger, like you said, but because you're getting help. So that way I'm not a hypocrite. If I'm telling you, you need somebody and I need somebody, I'm not a hypocrite.
You definitely can't be. We're the examples, right?
Right.
People see us and they reach out to us for help, but we also have to be the example for them because they don't know what it looks like to seek out help and not be ashamed of it.
Yeah, that's facts. So the one question that always gets me, it seems so simple to answer, but it's difficult.
What's that?
How are you?
No, how are you really?
Right.
How often do we answer that honestly?
No, like never. Like,
I was about to say, I never do.
Never.
I be like, do you for real? Like,
do you really want to know?
Right. Because I got a lot to unload. So if you have an ear, I'm willing.
I want to talk to you.
Okay.
I want to talk to you because honestly, when someone says, how are you? I automatically go to, I'm okay or I'm fine.
Yeah, because it's like all of the stuff that I'm thinking about when you ask me how am I really, I'm like, are they ready for this? Because I don't think so. Like, I got a lot to tell them. I got a lot to talk about.
And so I think about that. And I know today I really answered it honestly. One of my girlfriends, she hit me up like, yeah, how you doing, sis? How you doing today? And I was just like, I'm okay. ... And as I was about to send, I'm like, no.
Actually, I'm not. I'm not okay.
I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. I got so much going on. And I'm just of a place of like, okay, what do I do next? And when I did that in that moment, it was just like a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I just put it out there.
Finally, you can unload.
Yeah.
And release.
Yeah. Even though it was via text message, it was just like, all right, I'm letting it out. This is how I feel today. And it is what it is, but I need to tell somebody before I take it out on the wrong body.
Absolutely. That reminds me of Mary J. Blige's song, My Life.
Okay.
I was just singing this, y'all. So life can be, so I'm not even going to sing it. I was about to, but no, I'm not. Right. So her first lines are, life can be only what you make it. If you're feeling down, you should never fake it. Say what's on your mind and you will be at peace. Other people are going through the same thing, just like we are. And in order for them to feel comfortable speaking about it, we just got to normalize not having to be okay all the time. It's okay to not be okay sometimes.
That's facts, because a lot of times when you're not okay, like you just said, someone else is not okay. And when you start to unpack what you're going
You
through,
create the space for everybody else
you
to feel comfortable unpacking.
exactly, because it's like, okay, wait a second, I'm not alone in this.
Mhm.
Like, how many times have you felt alone thinking that you're the only one going through a situation, just to find out, yo, you went through that same thing I went through? Why didn't you tell me so I didn't have to go through it?
Exactly. I feel like I'm alone and I'm not.
Yeah. And it's always after the fact that you find out someone went through the exact same circumstance,
Mm-hmm.
or they're going through it, and now you feel like, okay, if I would have just spoke up, we both could have,
We could have helped each other.
yeah, helped each other through it.
Definitely.
So that's one thing where I often wonder, why is therapy or counseling looked down upon?
I think that some people have a negative connotation, or there is a negative connotation behind it, because it speaks to the notion of, I need help, there's something I cannot do, or I'm incapable of doing it. And people usually think if I'm going to therapy, or I need a coach, or I have to go to the doctor, that something's wrong.
Okay.
And I tell my clients this all the time. You're not in therapy because something's wrong with you. You just need somebody to help you unpack what's going on. Therapy is a space. It's supposed to be a safe space. It is a safe space. And for people to be their true, real, rap, raw self.
Yeah.
Without being judged. The person, their therapist, that doesn't know them, they don't know any background information. It's just like, here's my story. Can you help me?
Yeah.
Or help me to understand it. Sometimes that's what it is too. When we are talking with our families or friends, they know us, right? And so sometimes they're not giving us what we need because they know us, and they could be trying to sugarcoat some things, or they just not willing to listen.
That's good right there. They're not willing to listen, and they sugarcoat because, you know what? They have trauma too.
Yeah.
And then in order for our family members or our friends to help us, they actually have to unpack some of the things that they've been through. And that's why we have so many generational cycles, because we never unpack. And so we end up, the generation behind us, repeating
in cycles.
Yeah. What we did. So I probably repeated what my mom did. My mom probably repeated what my grandmother did, and so forth and so forth.
It's just, we're doing what we know.
Yeah.
And therapy creates a space for you to learn other ways to deal with what you're going through.
So in learning other ways to deal with what you're going through, therapy helps you to unpack. But is unpacking the same as compartmentalizing? Because you know how sometimes you'll go through a situation and you just say, you know what, I'm just going to put that in a compartment over here, or I'm not going to visit it. So there's...
I would say no.
Okay.
I think that's what people do. We've compartmentalized things, like, and I've done it. I can be honest. I've done it. But it's because we're moving in this space of helping others, and sometimes we just don't have the space to deal with our own stuff.
Yeah.
Because we got everybody is on our back.
That part. And then everyone's on your back, and the stuff that we're carrying, we're not built to carry it.
We can carry it, but we don't have to. We built for it.
Yeah.
We just don't have to do all of that, as Black women, and I'm gonna say that because that's what we are right here. We are built for that, and we do that, but we don't have to do that.
Yeah, and I think when I say we're not built to carry it, meaning we're not meant to.
Okay.
Meaning that a lot of the stuff that we take on because no one else will step up to the plate.
So we're able to see what's needed, and we're just filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
But that's what we've always done.
But are we supposed to, though?
Do we have to?
No, we don't have, and that's the whole point. We don't need to.
We don't need to.
Because we're taking on all this extra baggage. We're filling in all these different roles, and it's causing us to break down.
Yeah, that brings me to that reminds me of the strong Black woman schema.
Yeah.
That messes with our psychological mindset for real. And I don't think we are present sometimes to realize what we're going through, how we're feeling, and how that's impacting the way that we're maneuvering through life and in our different relationships.
That's facts right there. Because, like, I don't know if we talked about it, but only 1 in 3 Black people will actually get mental health help.
I'm gonna have to double check that.
Yeah.
It sounds about right though. It sounds about right.
I'm thinking like only 1 in 3 will actually go and receive the help when they find out, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, or this is what I'm going through because of the stigma behind it, because I'm supposed to be able to carry it and hold on to it.
Yeah, that goes all the way back to slavery for me. Like that's what it makes me think of, because during that time, we were just workers. We weren't seen as people, and I'm saying I wasn't.
Right.
Obviously.
Our people. Right. Like we weren't
people,
there, but our people.
But we were there. You know, it's been passed down. And, you know, we were talking about this earlier. That PTSD is being passed down too.
Yeah.
Trauma's being passed down inadvertently. And we don't even realize it, because back then there was no such thing as mental health issues.
No.
It was no such thing as depression, anxiety, but it's been there. It's been there. So we have to recreate a new norm and throw away the old one, because we don't have to do all of this. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to receive it, and you're still strong.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And that PTSD, like you said, a lot of times it can be subconscious. Like you don't even realize it. You're going through.
Don't even realize it.
And then it's something that just triggers you.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, where did that come from?
Some people don't even be there. They just be like, well, I'm just having a bad day. No,
or it's like, that's just me.
No, I hate that.
Like that's just who I am.
No, it's not, honey. It's not. That's not who you are.
Yes, it is, because I've been doing it my whole life. So that's
not
me.
This agitated person that snaps off all the time.
Well, you shouldn't be aggravating me. Like,
yes, so many. That's why I'm like, I have heard that so many times, and I always tell them, nobody is irritating you unless you allow them to.
No, they get on my nerves.
You have control. And if somebody's irritating you, what about it? It's something that happened that you may have experienced, and it's triggering you. That was your reaction then, and it's coming right back.
And I always say that when someone triggers you or irritates you, you're seeing something in them that you need to deal with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Otherwise, it wouldn't get under your skin.
Otherwise, you wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even notice it.
So it's always like, okay, well, that person did that, and I just can't stand them because they did that. But no, whatever they did, that's what you need to deal with.
Right.
Like that's what you need to unpack and see a therapist about.
It's not even the person; it's the specific behavior that they did.
That's it, right there.
That triggered you.
That's it, right there.
So how can we recognize it? How do you recognize when you are like burnt out, when you've had enough?
Oh man, for me,
or can you recognize it?
I'm getting to the point where I can.
Okay.
Because
how long did it take for you to get there?
Man, it took some time. It's still a process. There's still things that I'll be like, well, dang, where did that come from? Right? Like behavior, right? So I'll get like headaches. I'm easily.
That's my key. That's the first one. Yeah. For me.
Headaches. I'm tired. I'm impatient. And the reason why I know impatience is one, because I am very patient. So when I become impatient, and I'm just like, well,
something's going on.
Yeah.
Let me pay attention. Let me take a step back.
Yeah. Because it's just like, okay, Markia, you patient. But that little thing right there shouldn't have
right. It shouldn't have bothered you the way that it did.
The way that it did, right. So it's just kind of like, those are, I would say, my top 3. The headaches, the tiredness, and then being impatient.
Well, that's awesome that you even notice when you're having these shifts.
Oh yeah.
Because when we're not aware, how are we supposed to be better? We can't be better or help ourselves if we're not aware of ourselves.
And for me, I wasn't always aware.
Okay.
But because I wasn't addressing it, it would spiral into a behavioral issue, right? So like in my younger days, I might be out drinking all night.
Okay. So that was your way of coping.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I'm stressed out. I need to, alleviate some steam. I'm going out. Okay. So as I've, matured, I'm able to pinpoint, all right, now.
I don't need to go out.
Yeah.
I don't need to have no drink.
You need to go to
just
sleep.
Sit with it.
Like you need to check yourself. Like, what is going on in your life right now that's causing you to feel this way?
I like that you said check yourself. That's something that I have recently started. I've adopted that. Nice. And I've been encouraging that in all my relationships and everybody. Like, we have to be more aware of ourselves. And in order for you to be more aware, you do have to check yourself.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to check yourself? What am I feeling in this moment? Why am I feeling it? When's the last time I felt this way? And what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And go from there. Right?
Yeah. I think that's so important. And I do it as a inventory check. So, just how you have, if you're at a grocery store, you've ever done inventory, you're like, all right, did you wake up? Oh, yes. I'm blessed.
Amen.
Right.
Thank you.
Like, I just have a little list of things that I go through, and I've started doing it on a daily basis. So at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, where are you at today?
Yeah.
How are you feeling today? What adjustments do you need to make for tomorrow so tomorrow is better than today?
Absolutely.
So, I'm huge on that checklist. And those of you who are watching right now or who are listening to IntellectualRadio.com, let us know if you have a checklist, because you need to be able to check in with yourself and identify what's going on with your body. That's the other thing. Like, you might get tension in your body.
That's where I definitely get that. So that's where the headaches come from, because I get so much tension in my shoulders. All of this is connected. Yeah. And I learned this maybe like 7 years ago. Okay. I learned this, and I didn't realize that it was me. It was my stress contributing to my headaches. So I was teaching at this time, and I had a chiropractor come to our school to just it was like a self-care day for us.
Okay.
And she was like, Cheney, you are so tight. And I'm like, well, I've been having headaches every day. And she said, well, this is why, you have so much tension in your shoulders. I have been going to the chiropractor since then, monthly. Okay. Like, I've accumulated that into my, incorporated that.
It's okay. It happens.
I've incorporated that into my self-care regimen.
Yeah.
That's just what I do to keep me up, to help me preserve myself.
And that's good that you know where it's at. So when you go do those check-ins with the chiropractor, they can probably tell you oh, you're carrying your stress.
She always tell me that.
Okay.
Always.
She's like,
always.
What you need to do different?
What's going on? That's what she'll say. What's going on? What has happened in this past month that is different or that is causing you tension? And she knows that I work out, and I like to work out. That's another one of the things that I do in order to alleviate stress. So she'll always ask, "Are you working out? Did you work out? Have you worked out soon?" I mean, recently, and I'll be like, "You're right."
Maybe.
And that's all she has to say. That's the thing, and that's her checking me.
Yep.
But we all need those accountability partners. We need those people to hold us accountable, to help us recognize what's going on, because sometimes we can't recognize it.
That's
when
true.
you in the deep, in the middle of it.
Oh yeah,
you can't see nothing else but what you in.
Yeah, that's true. And so we'll have it in our bodies. That's one way, right? So we talked about the headaches. You talked about and you get the tension. But then it can also be your household.
Tell me more.
Okay. If you're normally a pretty,
because this sounds good. It sounds like you about to go.
So
somewhere.
if you're normally pretty well kept.
Oh, you mean like your house is unkempt?
Your house is unkept, right? So that could be a red flag. If you don't know what your red flags are, that you might need to talk to somebody. You might need to get some help. If you notice that you're letting go of things that you normally would keep up, your household, your car, your finances. If you start spending like you normally wouldn't spend,
or you're going out to eat every night, why aren't you at home cooking a healthy meal? That's the thing. People we ingest so many different things, whether it's social media, things that are unhealthy, music, work, people around us that just have bad energy, and the food, our nutrition. There's so many people that eat burgers and McDonald's and pizza
every day.
Pop, all of that. I'm like, have you had water today? Have you had something green today?
Yeah.
Have you had some fruit today?
No.
Okay, well, let's start there. Yeah. I start off my day with water. And I end my day with water.
Oh yeah.
That flushes everything out of you. And I don't think people realize how simple it is. This is a easy thing that you can incorporate.
Yeah.
What about reduction in your production?
Oh yeah, when you just become stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's major. When the productivity isn't there, when you don't have the drive, when you just like, okay, I'll get to it later.
Well, that's another one. When I'm like, I have so many things, I'm doing so many different things, so many hats, and I feel like I'm getting work done, but I'm really not.
You're not,
because I'm all over the place. I just need to sit.
Right, because there's no organization in it.
Right.
And even though you think there is,
it's not.
People always say, no, I got this over here, and this is,
I wrote everything down. This is everything I got to do today. Okay.
No, but
have you taken out time for self?
Yeah.
Is that on there?
No, it's not.
I definitely include that in my daily everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I started doing this like 2 years ago.
Okay.
It was definitely not like this all the time. After work, I would have to take an hour of just quiet time. You know, I'm constantly getting things thrown at me all day long. I'm constantly listening and analyzing and helping. That becomes tiring, you know, at the end of the day or before the end of the day. You know, we have to check in with ourselves throughout the day in order to make sure we are good mentally, emotionally, physically. Our stress shows up everywhere.
Yeah, that's facts right there. Because for me, I'm doing it first thing in the morning. So
your quiet time?
Yeah. Okay. My quiet time starts at like 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
That's a great time.
Yeah.
Because it's quiet. Yeah. Nobody's moving. It's
just still.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll start my day. So I'll go do my workout, you know, do whatever I need to do for work. And then I had to start setting an alarm for myself. So while I'm at work, I don't care what I'm doing. When that alarm goes off,
take that time.
I'm taking that time for myself.
That's awesome. That's a great thing to do. I've advised people to do that too. If you can't remember, or you just need somebody to
step away. Yeah.
It's time for that break.
Yeah. Because it would be times where I wouldn't eat. Like I would just go. And I
would be so engulfed in your work.
Yeah. That
you
I
forgot.
shouldn't be. That I forget to eat.
Yeah.
So when I started setting the alarm to eat, I added in there, okay, break. Don't just eat, because you can eat at your desk.
You can eat and work.
Be consuming.
How many of us do that though?
Right. All the time.
All the time throughout the day. I do it.
Yeah.
I'm breakfast, emails and eating breakfast and drinking my tea, thinking that I'm doing something right. No. I just need to
sit and process.
Look out the window, listen to the birds chirping, you know, all of those things.
Yep. So, you know, incorporating that into your day, like you said, just where is your me time? How are you getting
your me time?
So if you're a pastor, if you're teachers,
absolutely,
you know, our
and they don't take the time.
No,
throughout the day they eating lunch, teaching at the same time, reprimanding, all of that.
Even in COVID, and I know that during COVID, and you might have these numbers, that just the mental health, the anguish, right? The stress that we went through, how the numbers just skyrocketed as far as stress levels, and really people not knowing how to take care of themselves, not knowing what to do to even cope with a pandemic.
I was reading this Forbes study that was done on 1,500 workers of different ages, different professions, to determine their level of burnout pre-COVID and during COVID. So pre-COVID, about 43% of these people were already burnt out. They felt like. During COVID, it was a 9% increase.
Okay.
So, and then millennials, there was already pre-pandemic, 53% of millennials felt like they were already burnt out. Why is that?
I'm one of them.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I personally, I feel like, one, although we're working and we're getting, you know, we hustling, we're grinding, we just have so much stress. Like, we want to be the entrepreneur. We want to
be everything.
Right. You know, like we think we can do it all. Right. So it's just like, okay, I'm going to go hard because that's the culture that we grew up in. Hustle hard, grind. I'm going to do all of that so I can get this dream. I can achieve this goal. Not realizing that we're hurting our bodies, that we're hurting ourselves. But we think as long as we get this ultimate goal,
then we set. But no.
Not realizing.
It's about how you get there.
Yeah. Because we won't even be able to enjoy it.
Right.
Because we so burnt out.
Because you're going to be sick.
Right. So yeah, I love that stat there. So someone on my feed says, "How can you manage your feelings?"
How can you manage your feelings? Well, one, like I said earlier, we have to become aware of them, and feel them.
Even imagine that. Feel your feelings.
You have to like sit with it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we having these uncomfortable feelings, whether it's sadness or stress or anxiety, anger, whatever it is, or not feeling fulfilled. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
We are not feeling fulfilled. We're not doing things that pour into us, that fulfill us, that serve a purpose. We're not doing things that are a part of our purpose. And so at the end of the day, we are feeling depleted. So you got to be okay with feeling these uncomfortable feelings, sit with it, process it, whether you need to process it with somebody or write it down. I'm a writer, so I write poetry, I journal, I do all of those things, especially when I'm like at my peak of stress. I'm like, okay, it's time to write all of this out, whether it's in the morning, at night when I can't sleep, definitely, because my brain is just going. I'm thinking about tomorrow. What do I have to do? I'm thinking about everything that happened throughout the day, what I did not get done. You don't need to be thinking about that at the end of the day. How you gonna sleep? That's why you can't sleep.
That's why you can't sleep. That's why you tossing and turning, because you too busy worried about tomorrow.
You dreaming about, and that'll be me. I'm dreaming about stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. I wake up like, girl,
and you have no rest
at all, and so you're waking up still feeling unrested, still feeling tired, even though you may have gotten a night's you probably went to bed at 9-10 o'clock, but you didn't really sleep, you did not really rest. You need to regroup. It's like we use our phones all day long, and at the end of the day we plug them up. Why? Because the battery's dead.
It needs to charge.
We need to do the same thing for ourselves. Treat yourself like you treat your phone. People be carrying their chargers around. They had these portable chargers. We need to do the same thing. Carry some healthy snacks in your bag that's going to recharge you. Get you some water. Work out. All of those things recharge you.
You just said something though, major though. Treat yourself like you treat your phone. Those phones cost thousands of dollars.
People be like,
right. Every time it's about to fall, you up here juggling, trying to make sure it doesn't hit the ground.
You drop everything else but that phone.
But that phone. You know why? Because that phone gonna crack.
That's a word. That phone gonna crack. You gonna crack.
Right. You're gonna crack. Just like that phone cracks, you crack. And that's the whole thing about tonight. Take a break before you break.
Because what good are you broken?
Right. You can't do anything.
As mental health professionals, healthcare professionals, pastors, coaches, therapists, doctors, teachers.
Yeah.
We're breaking. And what good are we to everybody that we serve if we're not fully whole?
We're no good at all.
None at all.
It's like Swiss cheese. You got a bunch of holes in you.
And it's stank. You
got a bunch of holes in his steak. But I know that's not our audience listening right now here on Intellectual Radio. We maintain the Feed Your Brain, and Intellectual Radio is streaming 24/7. So that means anytime you log on, you can listen to some great content. So make sure that you follow, and subscribe IntellectualRadio.com. So, we always got to support where
Absolutely.
We at. And then shout out to Chevelle Simone.
Shout out to my girl,
the hostess with the mostest, who makes sure that we're on the air right now, y'all. But if you're just tuning in, we're talking about taking a break before you break. Really, it's I need a break
before I break.
Yeah.
Before I break.
So
is there a right time to rest?
Oh, yeah. Anytime. Anytime is the right time. Honestly, like, your body gives you signals when you need to take a break, when you need to rest. Like, I know that there's been times where I've been dog tired and I just push, and my body just shuts down. It's like, sit down before I really make you sit down.
Yeah.
So we have to listen to our bodies, and we have to just take that time. The world will keep going.
With or without you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I'm dead and gone,
all of that.
They gonna replace you the next day. Like,
so and so, They passed away, but we still need somebody to fill this spot.
We need someone to cover. So who can pick up this project?
Mm-mm.
And so that's something that I was thinking about. I was like stressing, right? Like, oh man, this is not going to turn out right because I'm not going to be able to participate or whatever. All the things that I do, right? So me being missing in this one component, I'm thinking, oh, it's not going to be. Yes, it is, Marquia. It's going to be just fine. Like,
they'll figure it out. They'll work it out.
It's going to be worked out because if I was gone, like dead and gone, they would work it out.
They was going to have to figure it out anyway.
Right. So it's like, take the time you need for you. And my power word is no.
The art of saying no.
Yeah, like I was a yes person. Like
me too. I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Me too, girl. Like for real,
people pleaser. I'm an empath. I feel what you feel. We're sponges.
I'm right there with you. Yeah,
we're sponges,
taking everything in.
And I was listening to this podcast about this doctor. He wanted to quit his job because he just felt so defeated, so burnt out. And he didn't have any more to give to his wife once he got home. But he didn't want to quit because his loyalty was to his patients. Your loyalty is to you.
Yeah.
It's to you. Because they're going to have to find somebody else if you're not there.
Yeah.
You know, when you're not available, they got to find another appointment. And I thought it was so powerful. He was just like, you know, I really don't want to quit, but I want to quit. And it was the word quit. That was that part. It's like, you're not quitting. You're just choosing you.
Choosing you. And I just find it fascinating that he was so wrapped up in his patient. And so it sounds to me that he was going through an identity crisis.
Yeah. His job was who he was.
And not what he does.
And not what he does. He couldn't see himself outside of that.
So how many of you out there, you've gone through that? Like you felt like what I do is who I am. And if I'm not doing it,
then I'm nobody.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like if I'm not doing it, if I'm not helping somebody, if my hands is not in it, then what is my worth? What am I?
Now that you're saying that, I feel like sometimes I think that like when I'm not doing something, I feel unproductive. I'm like, I gotta be doing something. I've never had just one job.
Me either.
I don't know what that feels like. I've always been involved in so many things. And that's not a bad thing because that's taught me how to multitask.
Yeah.
But as a result, it did not teach me how to take care of myself.
Nope.
It just taught me to push through. I just kept pushing through like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. At the end of the day, you think I'm going to be tired. I am tired, but I still can't rest.
And is it because you're not choosing to rest? Because it's a choice, right? Like we choose to take on these multiple hats that we put on.
You're right. It's all a choice.
Right.
You can choose not to. You're right.
So it's like, how do you get to that point of choosing you?
You can't guilt trip yourself. We beat ourselves up more than other people do. Yeah. And they don't even realize it. Like we at home beating ourselves with the bat. And we don't realize that we're doing ourselves a disservice as well as the people that we serve.
Now, are we beating ourselves up because of someone else's expectation of us? Or is it ours? Like, did
maybe
we put
a little
that
bit
pressure?
of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both because it depends on your background, what you come from. If you come from, you know, a family of hustlers that's always on the go, that's all you know. And so they're instilling that in you, that work ethic in you. You're applying the pressure to yourself because you don't want to disappoint and you don't want to seem like a failure. You don't want to seem lazy, any of those things. And you don't want to seem weak, like you can't do it.
That's true. And the reason why you don't want to seem weak, because you think you can't do it, or one, because the people before you did it.
Right. If they did it, why can't I?
Right. They did it with less.
Right. And we have all of these different resources. Right. Why can't we do it? Life it's supposed to be easier. We got technology that is changing every day.
But does technology add to the stress?
I feel like it does.
Because it makes you have to produce, right?
Yes. When I started this entrepreneurship, I've felt so overwhelmed because I felt like I had to be on all of these different platforms to put myself out there. And social media used to be like my little outlet.
Your fun time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at funny videos and stuff. I don't even want to get on there anymore. My hands hurt from holding my phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's when
you get carpal tunnel from holding your phone. Like, oh,
don't call that on me. I am not claiming that. I am not claiming. I don't want to claim it, but man, I be sitting there like
my wrist hurt, my thumb.
Jeez. Like my friend was like, Cheney, it's because you holding your phone all the time.
Mm.
And so now I put my phone on. My phone goes on do not disturb at a certain time every night.
Yes, mine too.
And I had to force myself to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there because if it's not, I'm gonna answer. I'm still gonna reply. And even now, sometimes, even if my phone is on do not disturb, I'm still gonna go look. Like maybe, let's see what I missed.
Yo, Facebook and Instagram was down all day today.
All day, and you know what? It was so peaceful.
It was peaceful, but at the same time, I was
mad.
I was anxious.
Like, is my Facebook the only ones that's messed up? Is my Instagram the only ones that's messed up? I said that too, though.
Yeah.
In the beginning, in this morning, I'm like, am I tripping?
You know, like different. I'm just like, okay, what's going on? I can't post. I'm seeing the same feed.
The same thing from last night.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm tired of looking at this. I'm like, I need to post my flyer because Cheney and I are gonna be on Intellectual Radio
tonight.
Gonna
watch us if we can't post it.
Yeah, right. We're like, people ain't gonna tune in to IntellectualRadio.com if they don't know that we gonna be on.
It worked out though.
It did work out because right before we were supposed to go live,
everything was working. It's on. We just have to relax a little bit. Take a breather.
That's it. And that's part of taking the break before you break.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping away and saying, you know what? That was a godsend that they were down today.
Yeah.
Because I was able to prepare. I was able to talk to my family. You know,
I was able to get a nap.
No, I wasn't able to do that.
I got that good nap.
I'm a little jelly. I didn't get a nap.
Listen, it's hard for me to catch a nap. And so everything was quiet. I ain't had no alerts.
Yeah.
I wasn't distracting myself from my nap because I'm not on my phone. I just went to sleep.
And that's the other thing when it comes to taking a break. Sometimes we distract ourselves from taking a break because we feel like we need to be doing something. You spoke to that, the productivity.
Yeah.
But when we don't take the necessary breaks, then we're actually unproductive.
Right.
Because you can't complete a task.
That's it. I don't be completing nothing. I can't mark nothing off of my checklist. I'm like, I've been working on this all day and it's still not done.
No, it's not.
I'm like, forget it then. I'm try it again tomorrow.
So is that a win then? When you say, okay, forget it, I'm gonna try it again tomorrow. Is that
it was not always a win.
Okay.
Again, this is like learned behavior, things that I had to reteach myself or teach myself rather, because you know, who teaches you about burnout and how to recognize it? Did I learn a little bit about it in school? Yes, but it's different in school as opposed to living it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're not being taught what burnout looks like, or if you're not taught that it's okay to take a break, then all you know is work. All you know is to go. And if you're not going, then you are lazy. You're not doing enough. And that would be some of the things that I would say to myself, you're not doing enough. Like, I would compare myself and be like, no, this person doing this.
That comparison, boy. That comparison, it gets
it's something else. It's something else.
Yeah, that's one thing that I had to stop doing.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't, and I try to look and say, okay, where did this come from? Like, what's the stem? Like, what's the root? Like, what caused me to go into this rabbit hole of comparison? And so when I think about it, it started as a child.
Yeah.
It started as like, for me, the area I grew up in a predominantly white area and being the only Black child in the school, right? Or not the only one, but the only one who spoke quote unquote proper. So
I was about to say proper. So you was talking white.
Right. So I was
you don't know how much I heard that.
Why you talk so white? So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is just the way that I speak. No, it's not speak. How are you correcting me?
Right. I'm using all this colloquial.
Right. No. So just that comparison from comparing myself to the white kids, comparing myself to the Black kids. I'm not Black enough. I'm not white enough.
Or maybe you're trying to prove something.
But at that young age, do you think so?
Yeah. You're comparing and you're proving. You're trying to prove yourself that you're worthy.
Yeah. That's good too, because that'll be a route. That's a route that will follow you to adulthood, and it'll show up in relationships, whether they're a good or bad relationship. Some of the things that we tolerate out of life from other people, from roots and things that we developed as children.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I found therapy so helpful, because you get to unpack.
Yeah. And it's just you and them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to compare, because it's all about you.
Yeah.
And during that time, I see a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a therapist and I see a therapist. I advocate for it.
Yeah.
I believe in it. And this is how I'm becoming an example, because I'm letting people know, no, it's nothing really wrong with me. I just got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put that on somebody else. I don't want to put all my mess on somebody else. So I'm going to pay somebody for it.
And that's good, because it goes back to your relationships.
Yeah.
Like, we can't have healthy relationships if we're coming in with all this baggage and expecting our friends or our partners or
to take that, to be our therapist.
No, we all need to go see. You need to see one. I need to see one, and then we can see one together.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. So that's 3, right? One for you, one for me, and then one that we see together that can, be that mediator and help us unpack what our relationship issues might be, or family dynamics, because those are stressors too.
Absolutely. So that brings me to this question. How does that affect relationships in your personal life?
Oh, for me, I try to manage it, right? Like we were talking about earlier, I try to check myself. But those unchecked moments,
they powerful.
They are some powerful
a lot can happen. A lot can happen really quick.
And then I feel so bad, because it's like, yo, I did not mean to take that out on you.
But the damage to be done.
The damage be done. But I'm just so grateful that the people in my life, they know when I'm having a moment. Like, they can say, you know what, that's not Markia.
Something's going on.
You need Markia, you need to sit down, take a break. You're doing too much. Yeah. Like, they can call it, and I'm so grateful for it, especially with inside my friend group. Like, if I'm just, like, if I flip out, like,
they're not taking it personally.
They don't take it personal,
because they know it's something going on. Yeah. So that goes back to that question. How are you really? Yeah. You said you was fine, but are you sure?
Are you sure? Because your vibe is off, your energy is off.
You got an attitude.
Yeah, you're not interacting the same way.
What's going on?
Yes.
You're not your regular chipper self.
Yeah. So I'm blessed in that area, because I am a very happy-go-lucky person. So when I get to the point where my energy is low, it's just like, or I'm temperamatic, it's okay, Markia. They check me.
Yeah. It's very important to have a great support system. We don't have to do it alone. That's why you have your support system. My support system is my friends, and my friends are my family. Yeah, and they know that. Family. Yeah, exactly. Family. I tell them that, I had to like make it known, like, y'all my family. Like, without y'all, I wouldn't be here.
Not at all.
They hold me accountable, but they do it in such a loving way.
Yeah.
They keep it real with me though. They meet me where I'm at, and they build me up.
That's major though. Accountability is key. And that's one thing that when you go through coaching, when you go through therapy, it helps to provide another level of accountability, because most therapists, and I don't know, you can let me know, will let you talk it out, but then they come back and ask you with the question. So how could you have handled that better? I don't know. That's why I'm here talking to you.
No, we don't have answers. We're trying to help you seek the answers. It's a partnership.
It's a partnership. And that's the same way even with coaching. A coach is going to help coach you through it, but they're not going to tell you how to get there.
We're not going to do the work for you. Yeah. You have to do the work for yourself. We're just going to help you.
Yeah. And that's one thing. I know we talked about it offline, but hip hop, is it coffee hip hop? Yeah, coffee, hip hop, and mental health.
Yeah.
So they have this whole campaign about normalizing therapy inside the Black community, and they're always having different events that people can go to kind of like talk through your issues in a group setting. So it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, that you're not in this alone.
Right.
You're not the only person going through this. Right. And so I just love like their motto about normalizing therapy, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not in this by yourself, and it's just a resource that's out there in our community that you can grab a cup of coffee and get therapy at the same time.
Right. That's what's up.
Like, and then they use hip hop music like you did with Mary J.
You got to do that, because that breaks down the barriers that you may have.
Mhm.
It helps you to relax a little bit. It doesn't always have to be. I'm gonna tell you this. So some of my clients, they'll be like, I don't really know what to do. They'll come to therapy. I don't know what to do. How do we do this? How is this done? And it's like, we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Don't be so uptight. I'm not gonna. It's not about that.
Mhm.
You're uptight all the time. This is a place where you throw all your stuff in here and leave it in here. So when you come out, you have unloaded so much stress.
Yeah.
Your back not hurting no more.
Mhm.
Your headache is gone, and you feel lighter.
Isn't that amazing that when you go through a session, not only does it change your life, like, because you go in feeling exhausted, like depleted.
You're like, whew, I got this.
Right? Like
I got this on my back.
You've been climbing Mount Everest.
Help me.
You've been climbing Mount Everest with every situation that you've ever gone through. And then you sit down on the couch. Yes.
That's what it is.
It's just like you said, that sigh of relief, because now you can unpack. Now you can take that heavy backpack off or whatever you're carrying, and then you leave a better person.
A better person. Your mood is back to a homeostasis. Is that the right word? Am I using that right?
Balance. You're balanced.
We're balanced. Y'all get what we're saying.
Look,
You all balanced out. Like I go to the chiropractor.
Yeah.
She getting my back right.
Yeah.
Getting me back
Getting
right.
you into alignment.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Working out, eating healthy, therapy, good support group, a good support system. We need all of those things.
All of them. And so, like, one thing that I was thinking about, the first time I went to therapy, I was going through some really messed up life situations while I was in college or whatever. And I was at the point of a breakdown. But I had to get to a breakdown to get to a breakthrough.
Right.
And so anyone that's listening, if you're going through, you're not going through by yourself. Sometimes it does get to a low point, but know that you can always get back up. And when you're going through, or you're feeling like you're broke down, you can always break through. So
I think in college, that's when I've seen a therapist when I was younger, but I don't really remember them. In college is when I started to see a therapist for the first time. Yeah. And this was before I even decided to go into therapy and life coaching. And it was because one of my relationships had ended, and he was like, you need a therapist. Like, you got a lot of stuff going on and you taking it out on me. And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that I was that angry, I guess, or unloading on him. And so it was hurtful to hear, but it was real.
Yo, he might have saved your life.
Yeah, thanks.
Like it
was brutal, but like it worked.
Yeah,
it worked. And sometimes we do got to hit rock bottom in order to build ourselves back up the way that we need to. We got to tear down all those bricks. We have to remodel ourselves.
Yep. Remodel. I love that. And it kind of makes me think about, I don't know if you heard about the state trooper.
I did.
Like, that just broke my heart.
It hit home. It's like they put all these workers out here to protect us, and he just sitting there and get shot in the head.
Yeah. Like, he going through, and you just never know. So it's one of those things, like we said at the top, that, whether you're a healthcare professional, a pastor, a teacher, a school bus driver, those who are
anybody. Really, like all of us, the people that are working, because so many people quit their jobs.
Right.
So the people that are still working, I commend you, because things have gotten harder.
It's stressful.
And everybody, I feel like,
needs
it. Yeah.
And that's like the thing to me, is just like, it doesn't matter what you look like, right? It doesn't matter your economic status. We all need help in some area of our life. Like at the end of the day, we all need it.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm gonna give you some what can you do to maintain balance?
Okay, cool. Let's hit it.
Set achievable goals.
Okay.
So we be setting these sky high goals. I want to do this in this amount of time.
Time might don't be realistic at all. That time might be like, oh, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds in the next 10 days.
Baby, that's not going to happen. Okay. Not even if you starve yourself.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You don't have to do it all at once.
No, you don't.
Take it one step at a time. Do one thing at a time. Everybody is not great at multitasking.
Nah.
And you don't have to. Just focus on what's important and then move on to the next thing.
Okay. I like that.
Hobbies. Okay. We need to be incorporating more hobbies that's not work related, something we just enjoy doing.
Okay. The things that bring you joy.
The things that bring you joy. What do? I play in my hair. I dye my hair. Obviously, I dyed it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And this time I did it differently. I did like half one color, half another color. I just like playing in my hair. You know, that's self-care for me. Yeah. And it makes me feel pretty. It makes me feel good. When you feel good, when you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
So that's important. Get your nails done. Feet done. Take mini breaks.
Yes.
So like you said earlier, you set alarms throughout your day. That's very important. Yeah. I think that's key. A lot of us don't even realize that we should do that, or they don't see like the importance of how that could change our day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so impactful. Share what you're going through somebody else. You're not the only one. Physical activity.
Yes.
Workout. I sometimes, if it's nice outside in the morning, I'll run, give me some vitamin D. I looking at the trees and stuff, all of that, you know. Yeah. At the end of your workout, it may be hard, but you feel great.
You feel good. And that's, because that's one of my biggest things that I do is the working out, the running. And I do it in a scenic area that I enjoy, that like brings me peace, like the lakefront.
Yeah. Take a vacation. Start scheduling vacations. So last month was my birthday, and I went to Puerto Rico, and I did not realize first of all, I hadn't taken a vacation in so long. And a vacation like that.
Yeah.
And when I did it, when I came back, I was in such a peaceful space. I'm like, oh, ain't nobody gonna take this.
Right. This is
y'all
my
ain't taking this. This is mine. Yes. I paid for that. That trip was it was well worth it. And so at that moment, I'm like, no, I'm about to start taking trips every month. Even if it's like a small little getaway, some days off, something. Because I noticed that I can't take a break here.
No.
I can't take a break at home.
I used to do staycations. Yeah. Like just get a hotel. Nah, I gotta leave.
Because then I'm still gonna be doing stuff. Yeah, I'm still gonna be connected. At this point, now I know why when people go out of town, they don't answer their phone. Yeah. I do that too. I tell people, don't call me. We're not talking about that right now. Okay. Yeah. I need to be with myself. So thanks. I'll call you back. Bye.
Thanks, no thanks. Especially when the job call you while I'm like, I put in for this. Like, do not disturb me.
I didn't see it.
Right. It is not an emergency.
Mental health days. So what if your boss don't want you to take a day off? If you need to take a day off, take a day off.
Take it.
Take that day. Improve your diet. Incorporate vegetables, fruits and vegetables, water. Stop drinking that pop, all the high fructose sugar. That does nothing for us. It may give us a little boost, but that boost don't last long. Yeah. What happens? You
crash, man.
Laugh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Laugh. I watch these. I just be looking at random videos just to laugh.
Yeah.
Meditate. Tap into what fulfills you. Are you living in your purpose, or are you just doing something to
get by,
to get by, to get some money? Like if you got a regular full-time job, you need to be doing something else that fulfills you if your job is not fulfilling you.
Yeah.
And if you need help after that or within that, seek professional help. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Nobody's looking down on you, because I guarantee you, your doctor is going to tell you, maybe you should take some days off. Yeah. It seems like you're stressed. That's the first thing they ask when you go to the doctor. When I first started going to the doctor about my headaches, she like, Well, how often are you feeling like this? Every day.
What do you think is the cons?
What do you think is the cause? Are you getting a good night's rest? They ask those basic questions,
things,
and we don't realize the basic things is what is maintaining us.
And those are the things that we can control.
Yeah,
you control your diet, you control your exercise, you control your rest, right? But then there's some things that might be outside of our control. You might have a chemical imbalance that might be causing you to act a certain way or to feel a certain way. And so there's help and there's resources for that too. So one of them is it pronounced Nami?
Nami.
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 Yeah, Nami. So you can actually text them at 741-741. Just text Nami 741-741. And they'll send you a list of resources. They'll give you therapists in your area. And then, us being African American, sometimes you want somebody that looks like you.
Right.
Someone that can relate to your struggles, to just your mindset.
And can just speak to you in the language that you understand.
Yeah, just break it. Like this whole conversation has been in vernacular that we both can jump in and out of. Right. So sometimes you just want someone like that. So there's the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, known as BEAM. For our Black men, there's Black Men Heal. And then there's also Black Mental Wellness. And then for the women, we have the Black Women's Health Imperative that you can reach out to. And there's just so many different resources. Here in Chicago, we talked about the Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health.
They have therapy for Black girls too.
Yeah, therapy for Black girls, and then therapy for brown girls too. Those are resources that you can just tap into. And then just, get the help that you need. Find what works for you.
Right. That's the key.
Yeah.
Do what works for you. Do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Even if it looks different, you don't need to compare yourself.
Right. Let's stop the comparison for real, because comparison kills and it makes you feel a little bit wacky. It does.
Wacky.
It does.
It does. It does.
Like, it's like that Gumby over there, like looking at yourself. Look at all y'all. It's a Gumby in the room, and Gumby just head down, just looking all sad. But no, you want to do what works for you. You want to find your joy, your peace. So
find you too.
Yes. And then when you find you, continue to be you. Be authentically you. That's why you don't need to compare, because God only created one you. There's nobody else on this planet.
Nobody like you.
Yes, like you. So I love it. This has been a great conversation.
I love this. This is great. This was the therapy I needed today.
Likewise. like I said, I was a little anxious today, and now I feel like, this was good.
That's how you're supposed to feel after a therapy session.
Yeah. Light, refreshed,
ready to take on the day. Now I'm charged up.
Right. So again, think of yourself, like Cheney said, as your phone. You trying to protect that phone. You don't want it to drop, because if it drops, it breaks. If it drops, it cracks. So we don't need you to crack. So get the help that you need. If you need more resources, you can hit either one of us up.
You can reach out to me.
Go ahead, give your info.
You can reach out to me on Facebook. I have my business page on there, VC Roots, and we can write that down there in the comments below as well. You can reach out to me on my website, vcrootslifecoaching.com. I have resources for you, and I also have other people that I could, connect you with as well.
And then for me, it's I am Markia Janae. So that's IAMMARKEA JANAY. I am MarkiaJanae.com on all social media platforms. So if you need coaching, you need resources, between the two of us, we can connect you to exactly what you need. But also IntellectualRadio.com. They have what you need 24/7.
Y'all heard it.
24/7. That means every hour on the hour, 7 days a week, you can tap in right here to IntellectualRadio.com for all your stimulating needs. You're listening to Soulful Stimulation, we're here on IntellectualRadio.com, where there are over 50 intellectual radio shows. So until next week, Tap
It's been
in.
real.
Be you. Be authentically you.
Take that break.
Yes. Perfectly imperfect, but that's the way God made you. So embrace it.
Embrace it.
I'm here for a purpose. There's a calling on my life. He's working through